At Rattrap Productions, we teach you how to do stuff. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful desk topper. First off, supplies. So, go to your box store, home improvement store. You get one 4-foot 1x10, three 4-foot 1x8s, and one 4-foot 1x4. Then you're going to get a backing board. This is 2-foot by 4-foot, and it's just birch plywood. The first 1x8s that I'm going to cut, these are going to be for the shelf legs. So I'm going to true it first, and then I'm going to cut it at 14¼ inches. I'm cutting that 14¼ but I don't want to cut on the inside of it, if that makes sense. I want to cut on the outside of it. Okay, so when I lay this down, I want to make sure that the saw blade, the teeth, are going to be on that side of the line, because I want this to be a true 14¼ and if I cut on this side, then it's going to be 14¼ minus a kerf. Okay, and a kerf is the width of the saw blade. I'm going to cut 4 of those. Now I'm going to have to cut 2 at 8½ inches for the inside shelves. Now that I trued the board on this side, 43¼ inches is what I'm going to cut this side at. So this is going to be the top, and it's going to have an overhang. That's why it's more than 42 inches. Okay, so now I'm going to do this beauty header. Then I'm going to cut it at 22 inches. Roughly laid out, this is what the plan is going to be. So I have that beauty header, I've got the top, I've got the shelves, so we're going to be able to have little knick-knack corners, boom, boom, boom. All right, that's kind of what it's going to look like. So the only cutting I have to do now is the backing plywood. I'm not going to worry about that until the whole thing's fabricated. Next, what I'm going to do is I am going to get out my Kreg Jig and start putting this thing together. Kreg Jig cuts a hole, a pocket hole, at an angle, and then you screw in from there. Okay, so I'm going to cut these first. I'm going to cut about 3 of these here on the inside, same thing here. Then for the shelves, I'm going to cut about 3 on the underside. Now the shelves. Next one. Okay, this is the hardest part of the build. My boxes and shelves are 8-inch material. The top is 10-inch material. I only want a 1-inch overhang, which means I got to take a 1 inch off of the top before I start building stuff. I got to take off 1 inch from the top. You know, the blade just a little bit higher than the material. I am matching an existing piece of furniture that has a radius cut on the top. So it's not square, it's rounded. I went to the piece of furniture and I found out that the radius, just by trial and error, taking my compass, the radius was 2¼ inches. So I took 2¼ inches here, drew a line, then I took 2¼ inches here, 2¼ inches, drew a line, got an intersecting point. From that intersecting point, I took my compass, put it right in the middle of that intersecting point, and then drew myself a radius. And I'm going to go to the jigsaw, and I'm going to cut that piece out. Boom. All right. I'm going to shape that a little bit better later on, but I got it cut where I wanted it. I measured 5/8 here and drew a straight line because I want this to overhang. This is going to overhang 1 inch in the front, but this I only want to overhang 5/8 because I'm matching an existing piece of furniture. So I'm going to put this on that line. I'm going to use some of those Kreg's clamps. I'm going to screw these things in. Okay, these clamps work real easy. There are notches here to allow you to compensate for material overlap. So you just have to find the right situation, and then you're going to find your line and make sure that your line is where it needs to be. Then I'm just going to clamp it. I'm going to do the others just like that. Boom, boom, and then 2 on the other side. I measured 7.5 inches up from the bottom here, or from the top actually. This is the bottom because it's flipped over. 7.5 here on each one of these. I'm going to put it in there, make sure I can see the line, but just barely. Then I'm going to clamp it. Go ahead and screw this in. It's a headboard actually that they have this curve. So I just went behind the board, the headboard, and I traced exactly what the piece that I'm trying to match has as far as an angle. And so this is just going to be placed right there. So I'm going to go to the jigsaw. I'm going to cut this out first. Rattrap Productions, where we teach you how to do stuff. Today I showed you how to make a desk topper for a desk from scratch. And it took hardly any supplies. The total for the supplies is about 50 bucks. Now you can finish any way you want. The pocket screws, so we got pocket screws there, down here, and there for the header. Rattrap Productions, we show you how to do stuff.